All right, I'm gonna go get me an energy drink, and when I get back, we're gonna sit down, have a serious conversation. But before I do, let me show y'all how beautiful this view is. It's a nice day out, so let's go. So this is what I do for my energy drink, and I already know what you guys are gonna say. You don't need energy drinks. I know. I understand. Here we are. So what I like to do is add some ice. I get me a Ghost. I'm gonna do the green apple today. Ghost green apple. And then I add in about half the can right there. So half a can of Ghost green apple. And then to top it off, so I would say about a third of this is green apple. Of course, the ice adds a little bit of room. And then I add water, fill the rest up with water. Even though it is zero sugar, it is very sweet, sour, and I don't know, just a lot of caffeine. These things have like, I don't even know how much caffeine that, 200 milligrams of natural caffeine, whatever that means. But by doing this, at the very least, it's not as unhealthy, I don't think. Of course, there's still a good amount of caffeine in, but I'm also drinking water, and it's just, I don't know. Probably doesn't make any sense, but this is what I do. All right, I'm back. I know it's been a while. I know I haven't been posting daily or even bi-weekly or even weekly, honestly, but it's been a lot going on. So today we are recapping the whole of the 30-day challenge. Um, I wish I had more of the data ready to give you, such as, oh, I sent out 10,000 DMs, I booked this many calls, I did this much. I'm not gonna give out the DMs, but I will say how many calls I booked, what my close rate was, how much I finished a month with, and what I learned, right? Before I get into that, I wanna explain why I've been so absent from social media, from everything for, well, not really social media, I've still been posting, but last few days, last few weeks have been hectic. I actually had a speaking engagement this past weekend. It wasn't paid, but it was still cool to be able to speak. I spoke for about 30 minutes, and I spoke about things that I know, which is sales, marketing, social media growth, right? So I gave a lot of value. I wasn't expecting it, but the people clapped for me at the end, so that was dope to see. It was dope to be able to give back. And again, it wasn't a paid speaking engagement, but one of my goals in the future, moving forward, is to have those kind of things where I am getting paid to speak and to share my knowledge, right? I'm either gonna put some clips over this as I'm speaking, or I'm gonna put some clips at the end. But essentially, it was my friend Jess's Just Branding event. Just Branding is her company, so she was throwing a branding event. So she was speaking to the people that bought tickets and teaching them how to brand themselves and how to stand out on social media. So after she got done with branding and the tips she had, I came in as somebody who works in sales. I've been in sales for almost 4 years now. Somebody who works in sales and marketing, because everything I do is essentially sales and marketing. And I gave advice on how to better market yourself, how to get the sale from different people before they even hop on a call. And if you don't believe that I'm qualified, my closing rate for the month of January was actually 80%. So pretty high closing rate. And I'll show you guys all of that data, all the statistics coming up. That being said, the event was dope. The event was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. I was so thankful. I met some amazing people. It was a networking event, but you also met some amazing people. You exchange information. And one thing that I plan on doing more in the future, definitely more speaking events, definitely more mentorship slash business consulting, because as I grow, again, I'm a recap the 31 day challenge. I did not hit my $30,000 goal, but I've learned so much. And I can feel it in my heart. I know that in the next month, maybe 2 months, I know it's going to happen this year. I know it might happen sooner rather than you think. And I will keep you guys updated about that. Let me grab something that I'll need for this, and I'll talk to you. I got some here that's very, very important. If you want to find out what this is, stick around until the end. But aside from the branding event, this was last few days, last few weeks have just been very hectic. The biggest things that I've learned from this 30-day challenge is content is king. Content is. I know I've mentioned this in a few other videos, but content is king. I used to send this past year out. Honestly, this past year of 2024, I probably sent out over 5 to 10,000 DMs. Probably closer to 10,000 DMs. And yes, I did make a good amount of money, but I could have made better and more money if I had just been better with content. So moving forward this year and then moving, again, I'm doing content right now. Content is king. Content attracts people to your audience currently, and I'm gonna show you guys a post. I know I mentioned it last time. Here's one, here's one, here's one. Currently I have 3 posts going viral. This is bringing me followers. This is bringing me eyes on my page. This is bringing me attention, and of course it's brought me revenue because a couple of those people applied to work with me, and of course I closed them, right? That's my job. Help people out. If they need my help, help them. So the more content you do, the better content. It's not just, a lot of people say, oh, post 3 times a day, do this, but no. Don't just post trash content. You have to post good content. So I finally cracked the code of how to make better content, right? And the fact that I currently have 3 posts going viral right now is amazing. So my goal is to make sure that I have at least 1 post going viral every week. And of course, virality is just vanity metrics. I don't care about the virality. I care about what it brings to me. If it brings me more followers who care about what I teach, what I do, cool. If it brings me more people who need my help as a coach, as a consultant, cool. You know, in that case, yes, I do want to go viral because virality is just step one. Once you go viral, you actually have to know how to convert, how to nurture those people, and then how to convert. And that, my friend, is where I shine. I know how to nurture, I know how to convert, I know how to, again, close the people that land on my page. So 80% close rate for the month of January, not bad. I do anticipate that February will be much better. So that's the goal. Let's make it happen. So I know you've all been waiting for this. What did you do? What'd you do? What'd you make? So January 2025, I ended up with $10,817. The reason why there's the 17 is I don't even know how that happened, but I have different tiers of programs. I have some very low ticket, like 99. I have some high ticket, and I have some other things in play too. So total $10,817. New revenue $6,299. Payment plan revenue, meaning recurring revenue, $4,518. Right. So net revenue again was 10,817, and I'll put that on the screen. And then contracted revenue, how much I contracted total, was 12,900. So typically, the contracted usually is much higher than the net revenue. The reason why they were so close is because I did end up getting a good amount of paid in fulls or split payments. So rather than somebody paying me monthly, they decided, hey, I'm going to pay you this big chunk all at once. So that was a blessing in itself. I'm going into this month in a very positive, not very positive, but I'm going into this month, I believe my recurring revenue for the month is going to be higher than last. It should be around 5,000 to 6,000. So I already know that that's accounted for. So again, that makes it much easier for me to hit that 10,000 again, right? I know I'm going to be able to hit that 10,000 again in the month of February, but the goal is not to hit 10,000. The goal is to get to 30,000. So now that gives me a little bit more cushion, and it gives me a little bit more safety in terms of what I can do. I don't have to take on just anyone because I know that, hey, bare minimum, my necessities are taken care of, rent is taken care of, this is taken care of. I don't have to stress about finances. So I don't have to take on just any client. I want to take on the clients that are aligned to me and what I need, right? So that's a good headspace to be in going into this month. In terms of KPIs, key performance indicators, in that time frame, in these last 31 days, I have had 252 new conversations. I booked 13 10-minute calls. So I do 2 calls. I do triage calls and then closing calls. 13 10-minute calls and 60 closing calls, right? out of that, my 10-minute no-show rate was only 7.6%, so pretty low. I'm not mad at it. Actually, I don't think I've updated my KPIs all the way through, so I'll do that today. But it is what it is. You guys have the most up to date so far. That covers January and what I made. So worst case scenario, if I do update and there's a difference, I'll see that I might have made more than I imagined, and I'll update you guys. But you know, about 77% of the people that booked a 10-minute call with me converted to a 60-minute call. So they qualified to a 60. And out of those 10 people, I closed 80%. There was a 10% no-show. So basically one person just didn't show up, which is unfortunate. So 10 people booked a 60, one didn't show up. I closed 80% of the 10. So basically, if that one had showed up, I might have had a 90% close rate. Who knows? But that's besides the point. Moving on to the next things. The month of February is all about building momentum. Building momentum. Building momentum. I've been learning and implementing specific systems. I told you guys last time about me going to sleep at 9:30 p.m., waking up at 4:30. This event last week and a couple of different things in the meantime threw me off that schedule, but I'm fighting my best to get back to that schedule. So again, the goal is to go back to sleep 9:30 p.m., wake up at 4:30 a.m. That's the goal moving forward. The month of February is all about building momentum with content, building momentum with nurturing clients, building momentum with everything. As you can see, everything compounds. If I start next month with a $10,000 recurring revenue, that'll make it much easier to hit $20,000 because now I'm like, okay, I don't have to make this many sales. I just got to make this much, right? If I start the month of March or the month of April with a $15,000 recurring or $20,000 recurring, it makes it much easier to hit that next goal, right? So I'm gonna have to be strategic with how I do payment plans. Because on one hand, I do want to do paid in fulls. I do want people to pay me their chunks all at once. But on another hand, I also think it's beneficial to have them pay, let's say, a percentage of their chunk. Let's say pay half of it up front and then split the rest. For example, if I'm charging $3,000 for a service for an undisclosed amount of time, I might say pay $15,000 right now today and then $500 every month. So that increases my recurring revenue, right? So you got to be smart about how you approach these things. I was able to book a couple of calls on LinkedIn, even with me now. I started doing LinkedIn more seriously this month of January, but I haven't been as consistent or as serious as I should be. Even with the minimal numbers of DMs I've sent, I probably sent about less than 75 DMs on LinkedIn. I didn't even do follow-ups. I'm gonna be honest, I did not do follow-ups just because there's so much time. There's so many things to do in the day, and there were other events with life happening that threw me off. I was still able to book 2 calls. One of them ended up canceling before the first call. He rescheduled twice and then canceled. The other one, we had a good call. We built some good rapport. Scheduled him for the 60. He was on board, and then he ghosted. It happens. He ghosted me. Womp, womp, womp. Anyway, it happens. Anyway, the next thing is another thing I've started doing this month. I've started taking on clients who would like to be mentored because, again, even though you guys are seeing me like, oh, he's just at 10,000, why would he start mentoring people? For me, one of the best ways to get better at something is to teach others. That's why for the last couple of months, I've started teaching sales to friends of mine. Again, I have an 80% close rate. That's not by accident. I practice sales a lot of times, right? I practice sales almost every day. So I've started taking on clients, guys who are in-person trainers and they're charging like $30 an hour per session, which is crazy to me. Or they run classes and they're barely charging. So I've taken them and I've said, you know what? I will teach you how to convert eyes on your page into followers. I'll teach you how to grow your page, how to grow your Instagram, and how to get followers from there. I'll teach you how to get clients from there. I'll teach you how to get clients from different avenues like Facebook, LinkedIn. So I've started doing that on my own, right? And so far, I think I have 2 clients, which is bringing me in $1,000 a month. And I have other people that are interested, but I don't want to take on too many people, at least until I get to my $30,000 mark. When I get to that $30,000 goal, it'll be much easier for me to actually scale up from 30,000 to maybe even 40 and 50,000 because I'll have a set price that I'm charging for that one-on-one coaching. And then I'll have that set price that I'm charging for my mentorship program. So The guys that I've actually brought on, one guy, I'm not going to say his name, but he's actually signed 5 clients since he started working with me, right? I started him at a semi-low ticket just to get him comfortable selling, get him comfortable posting. And the biggest thing with me and him was me breaking his mindset, his limiting beliefs. He had never seen something like this. He never sold anything online before, right? He never, even the in-person clients that he had in the past were from the advice that I'd given him a long time ago. So to him, this was very new. The sending out these many DMs, getting ghosted, people lying to you on the call, it broke his spirit, his mentality a lot. So a lot of what we did was me working with him to shift those limiting beliefs. And then of course, giving him the sauce on, how to talk on the sales calls, how to, what to post, how to post, all that stuff. And again, in the short amount of time, he's already signed 5 clients. So, I think that's pretty much it. Listen, I appreciate everybody who has been on this journey with me. I appreciate everybody who's been tuning in for these next 30 days, for these last 30 days. Even though I didn't hit my $30,000 goal, this is not the end. I'm telling you, this is only the beginning. My goal is to, if I can, hit 20,000 and not if I can. My goal is to hit $20,000 in February. That's a goal. You know what? Scratch that. Why am I lowballing myself? My goal is to hit $30,000 in February. That's a goal that I believe can happen if the right things happen. Of course, I know things take time, things are stepwise, but again, if I can recreate the post that I have going, there's a post from a week and a half ago that is still going viral. Still, it's at 1.5, 1.6 million views so far, still climbing, still getting engagement. So my goal is to be able to convert all those eyes, all that attention, and get up to $30,000 this month. But if I don't get to it this month, it will happen sooner rather than later. So if you will, please go ahead and on the page somewhere, I know there's got to be a button around here somewhere. Hit that subscribe button. Keep up with me. Yeah, I would love to connect with you. DM me on Instagram, leave a comment. I do read all you guys' comments, even if I haven't been responding because of how hectic life has been. I do read your comments, and it means the world to me. So please continue watching, continue showing some love, continue. I appreciate it. Which leads me to this. What exactly is this? What am I holding in my hand? I actually wrote this a couple months back. This is something I felt God put in my heart to fulfill. And with this 30-day challenge being done, this is going to be my new series. I'm going to have multiple series concurrently running through my channel at all times, but this will be my new series. Essentially, God gave me a vision for my life. He gave me a vision for my life in terms of the business I'm supposed to run, the kind of life I'm supposed to have, the kind of impact I'm meant to have, and then of course, how to get there, meaning being financially free and being able to be a kingdom financier, right? God wants to make his kingdom done on earth, so he wants to have people that have the same characteristics, the same mindsets, the same values that he has, right? Because my goal is to be financially free, to be financially secure. It's not just for me to go buy a Lamborghini and have a nice penthouse and all that stuff. It's also for me to be able to help out around the world, be able to bring God's will on earth as it is in heaven, right? So one thing that was in my head all of last year, and this is something that he's put in my head for almost 2 years. And finally last year, I decided, you know what, stop procrastinating, stop doing this. Just make it happen. Just make it happen. Just write it down. So I took some time, I sat down, I wrote this down, this blueprint of how exactly I plan on getting myself to financial freedom and to not having to stress about money, and of course being able to help others in any way I can, whether that's through mentorship, whether that's through nonprofits, whether that's through any way I can. So basically, one of the things that God put in my head is write the vision and make it plain, right? So I wrote down every single step of how I plan on getting from point A to point B. It includes different things, just to give you an idea. It includes why I'm writing this, what God has put in my head. It includes some affirmations to recite to myself, some books that I plan on reading or that I have read that are helping me. It includes prayers. It includes rewards, because the goal that I have for myself is going to be I'm gonna have to sacrifice a lot, right? And it makes sacrificing things that much easier when you know what, once I get to this goal, I can reward myself by doing this. For example, for me, daily, I reward myself by playing a game of FIFA, 2 or 3 games of FIFA every night. So if I feel like I've done a good job throughout the day and I've worked hard and I've put in the work, I've put in the input that I need to, I'll reward myself by playing FIFA, right? Because you can't just be go, 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 work, work, work 24/7. You have to have some time to relax, to have some leisure, to just enjoy life. Especially, I'm 28, I'm turning 29 this year. So you need to have some different ways of enjoying yourself, right? It includes different things, daily SOPs, daily rules, things I want to visualize, and then of course, plans of action. So right now, in this blueprint, I have 10 phases. It's a 10 step plan for me to get to this goal, right? A lot of people call me Tank, right? So I created this character in my head called Mr. Tank, and Mr. Tank is who I'm trying to become. I'm trying to become Mr. Tank, who is confident, who's self-assured, who is abundant, who is a joy to be around, who gives more than he receives, or he receives as much as he gives, but he likes giving. He likes being a man that can help others any way he can. Not only just talking money, but talking in terms of giving value. I want to be the kind of person that whenever, and I honestly, I feel like I am that right now. I have friends who tell me all the time that when they speak to me, they gain so much knowledge, so he's the kind of person that like, when somebody speaks to him, they leave feeling so like inspired, feeling so in awe, feeling just motivated to accomplish life and take it. I want you to feel that feeling right now. If you're watching me or you never met me, I want you to feel that feeling right now. I want you to feel so inspired and so ready to just conquer life, right? And if you need that motivation, that inspiration, come back to this video and watch this video. A lot of people will call me delusional, but trust me, in a year, everything's gonna be different. In 6 months, everything's gonna be different. In 7 months, everything is gonna be different. Trust me. Trust me. If you need that inspiration, save this video. Watch it again. Watch it again, I promise you. So basically I define who Mr. Tank is. So the next series that I'm gonna start is gonna be called Becoming Mr. Tank. I'm gonna reintroduce this whole blueprint in that series. I'm gonna talk about who Mr. Tank is, his characteristics, right? That's my alter ego that I've created, that I wanna step into that. God is blessing me with different opportunities. God has blessed me with different ideas, different visions. And you guys are seeing me right now. 5 years ago, I would have never been able to do this. Why? Because I was constantly high. I was high out of my mind 24/7. I was in victim mode. I thought the world owed me everything. I constantly blamed everybody for my shortcomings. Oh, I'm not here because my dad wasn't in my life growing up. Oh, I'm not here because our professor hates me. He just wanted to, I constantly, 5, 6 years ago, I was in a completely different spot. So me being here is a testament to God's will, to God's grace, to God's love. And in 7 months, I'm gonna be in a different spot. In 12 months, I'll be in a different spot. And I want you guys to come along for the journey. So again, my next series is gonna be called Becoming Mr. Tank, where I'm doing specific things, walking in purpose, moving in purpose, walking in faith, and I'm getting to that person who God has called me to be, so that I can touch whoever is watching this video right now. I can touch you through the screen and I can say, hey, you can do this too. If I can do this, if me, this random, let me not cuss. If me, this random, I'm really trying not to cuss, but if me, this random kid from Cameroon who was born in Cameroon, moves to the US and has been, doing everything to try to find his way, who has no direction, who doesn't have that father figure in his life to even guide him, so he relies on the father. If me, this kid who has messed up so many times, if me, this person who is just on my own, just figuring it out. I'm literally just figuring out everything on my own. If I can do it, you can too. And again, this game plan, I didn't want to say this, but I have a vision of me being able to make $100,000 a month. I know that's more than some people make in a year, but I have that vision that I will be able to make $100,000 in a month. And this is the game plan. And again, this game plan is not just for, it's not just for me to make a crazy amount of money and spend it on random stuff. You look at my apartment. My apartment is I have a whiteboard. I have a lot of books. I have some stools. I have my couch, a TV, plants. Like my apartment is very minimalistic. I don't want a lot of things, right? I want a Ducati. I want a motorcycle, right? I wanted to make sure my mom's taken care of, my brother's taken care of, my sisters, the people I care about. And then after that, there's not a lot of things in this world that I want. I'm learning more how to be content with my life. So this blueprint, this goal that I have for myself is not to just live this ultra luxurious, ultra like materialistic life. I could care less about that. Like, I really could care less. It would be nice because I've grown up in middle class. I would say middle to lower to middle class. So it would be nice to experience a life of ease once in my life. But I don't even care about that. I just want to get to a point where I don't have to stress about money. Where if somebody hits me up and they're like, "Hey, I need this. Can you help me with this?" I can be there. I can do that. God works through specific people, and I want God to be able to use me to help everybody who He calls to help. Right? I'm not there yet, but I will be. I will be. I know I sound delusional right now, but you got to be delusional. You got to be delusional. The logical don't inherit the earth. I know in the Bible it says the meek will inherit the earth, right? But in life, if you look at people who were ultra successful, they were delusional. They believed in themselves. They knew that, hey, I come from nothing, but they believed in themselves truly and completely. If you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, best soccer player in the world, best, probably one of the best athletes to ever play a sport. This man used to be sweeping the streets in Lisbon, right? Madeira, is he from Madeira? He grew from, in his whole career, people kept asking him, who do you think is the best player in the world? Even at 18, at 17, he said, me. Today, he's about like 70 goals away from hitting 1,000 goals. Nobody's ever done that before. He's won everything there is to win except for the World Cup. That man is the greatest player in the world. You look at Conor McGregor, delusional. You look at John Jones, delusional. You look at Floyd Mayweather, delusional. Muhammad Ali, all these people, they were delusional in their greatness and they stepped into it. Be delusional about how great you are and step into that. It's one thing to be delusional about how great you are and then just sit there smoking weed, doing whatever, right? But it's another thing to be delusional and then be taking steps to do it. God likes people that want to do better, that aspire to do better. He will help you do better. So be delusional about yourself. What do you really want out of this life? It doesn't have to be financial freedom. It doesn't have to be, even if it's just, hey, I just want to have a Corvette and that's your dream. Be delusional, go get it. Even if it's to have, hey, I just want to have this very expensive dog and that's your dream. Be delusional about that and make it happen. You feel me? Man, fam, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all watching this video. I appreciate you guys sticking it out with me. Again, that was the end of my 30-day run. The next step, the next series is going to be called Becoming Mr. Tank. Again, there are 10 phases in this. So it's going to be called Becoming Mr. Tank, Phase 1 Update. Becoming Mr. Tank, Phase 2 Update, right? Currently, I've already checked off. Phase 1 has about 10 different things I need to do. Let me see. Phase 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Phase 1 has 13 things I got to check off. I might add another thing or two, but for now, 13 things. So my goal is to check them all off in the next, I know I can do that in the next 3 months, and then move on to Phase 2, which is a little bit difficult. But honestly, the way this is set up, I might be able to hit some of the stuff in Phase 2, in Phase 1. I might be able to hit some of the stuff in Phase 3, in Phase 1 or Phase 2. For example, I didn't set a goal of hitting $30,000 in a month up until Phase 3, but I know that it can happen before then, right? So we'll make it happen. I have minimums. You can set minimums, but you can aim for the stars. So, man, this challenge has been amazing. I appreciate everybody who's been watching. I know I've been yapping and blabbing. I hope you got some value from this. I hope you enjoyed this. Please, I would love to connect. If you watched it this far, please just drop a comment. Just let me know what you enjoyed the most about this. Because again, I'm going to be starting that new series, Becoming Mr. Tank, and I'll be updating you guys along the way and showing you guys what's happening. I got back into jiu-jitsu recently, so I plan on training, competing. That's one of my goals. Back in, I think this was like 2019, 2020, I made a whole vision board of my goals and my list of what I want to do, and becoming a world champion in jiu-jitsu was one of them. So I got back into training, and I'm going to make that happen. So I'm going to leave you with this. Be delusional, be great, give God thanks, put God above everything else, because without God, we would have nothing. So give him praise, seek him first thing in the morning, last thing at night, and I hope I inspire you because you guys inspire me too. If you've been watching this far, I know this is a long video. If you watched this far, thank you, bless you, and peace.